She thought I'd never find out. Until I read his message on her phone. My name's Marcus. I was married to Julia for 13 years. We had what most people would call an ordinary life. 2 kids, a mortgage, and just enough chaos to keep things interesting. Our son, Caleb, is 9, full of curiosity and questions. Our daughter, Lila. She's 6, wild, stubborn, and fiercely loving. I worked in HVAC, not glamorous but honest work. Each service call felt like a problem I could fix, and that gave me a sense of purpose. Julia, on the other hand, was stuck behind a desk. Office job. Low pay. High stress. Most days, she'd come home drained, staring at nothing over dinner, the spark in her eyes flickering out a little more each week. On the worst nights, I'd hear her crying in the bathroom, shower running, like that water could drown her sorrow in silence. She craved escape. Break. Something to reset her mind. This year she got it. Her best friend, Natalie, invited her to the Gulf Coast. Sun, sand, and 0 reminders of spreadsheets or cubicles. Julia had some savings tucked away, and before I could blink, she'd filed for unpaid leave and bought her ticket. She broke the news like it was just another weather update. 10 days, she said. Just me and Natalie. I need this. I was stunned. No discussion. No planning. Just done. We're supposed to talk about these things, I said, trying to stay calm. But she stood firm. Pushed. You pushed back. By the end of the argument, we'd both said things we couldn't take back. She left for the airport angry. I stayed home, confused, hurt, and furious. At check-in, Julia poured it all out to Natalie, who just smiled, squeezed her hand and said, "You'll forget all about him once we hit the beach." Then Natalie dropped a bombshell. The Gulf trip wasn't random. 4 months, she'd been flirting online with a man from another state. And this vacation. It was their meet in the middle moment. "What about your husband?" Julia asked, shocked. Natalie shrugged. "Zach will be exactly where I left him when I get back. These 10 days. They're mine and Adam's." Julia laughed nervously, but Natalie's words burrowed deep. The idea of a secret slice of joy, of feeling wanted again. It lingered. Adam, it turned out, was flying in with his brother Leo. And Leo, well, he wasn't part of Julia's plan, but neither was the way her heart skipped when she saw him. The guys wouldn't arrive until morning, so the women hit a beachfront restaurant that night. Julia, caught between guilt and temptation, drowned her nerves in tropical cocktails. By the time they stumbled back to the hotel, Natalie was half carrying her. The next morning, Julia woke up hungover to find Natalie already dressed to the nines. "Go rest," she said, mascara flawless. "I'll grab Adam and Leo. Catch you later." By evening, Julia felt human again. She slipped into a dress that hugged her in all the right places and let Natalie sweep her off to meet the brothers. Then she saw Leo, tall, tan, hair kissed by the sun, a smile that made the room tilt sideways. One conversation turned into drinks. Flirting turned into stolen touches. That night slipped straight into the next morning. In Leo's suite. And just like that, the fight with me, the kids, her job. All of it vanished for her. 10 days of forbidden thrill, of pretending she didn't have a life back home. Meanwhile, I didn't call once. Not out of trust, but because I was furious. I told myself I'd speak to her when she apologized. I had no clue that while I imagined us making up in bed, my wife was on her knees for someone else. When she came home, I melted. One whispered sorry, and I folded like a fool. Life rolled on. School drop-offs, laundry, soccer games. Normalcy returned. But Julia, she never really came back. She and Leo texted daily. Video calls during her lunch break. He'd smile, and she'd light up like Christmas morning. She told herself it was harmless. Long-distance fantasies. Nothing serious. Then came the roses. A massive bouquet at her office. She giggled like a teenager. Saved every photo from the trip. Every group selfie. Every stolen kiss disguised as a casual beach shot. Leo begged her to sneak away for New Year's, but even she knew that was too far. Instead, he mailed a necklace. Tiny, delicate, in a velvet box. She cried when she opened it, then buried it deep in her purse. On New Year's Eve, she made a promise to herself. Block his number. Cut it off. Seal that fling in a snow globe. Beautiful but untouchable. But fate doesn't care about resolutions. A week into January, I accidentally left my phone at work. While she showered, I grabbed hers to scroll social media. And that's when the message popped up. Miss you like crazy, beautiful. Leo. My stomach turned. I tapped the thread. Selfies. Flirty clips. Beach photos. Her and Leo, arms around each other like honeymooners. I couldn't breathe. I just stared at the screen, heart pounding in my throat. She walked in with a towel on her head and saw the phone in my hand. You're taking it out of context, she stammered. I can explain. I don't need an explanation, I said, voice low. The pictures explain everything. What came out of me next were words I'd never said in 13 years. Snap. Her phone hit the floor. I stomped it until the glass splintered like my trust. Within weeks, we were filing for divorce. We split the accounts, split the furniture. The court gave her custody by default, but I was determined. The minute I found a bigger apartment, the kids were going to stay with me. Then karma took its turn. Her company downsized. Julia was laid off. Suddenly single, jobless, and buried in bills. She clung to whatever temp work she could find. Leo. Block. Photos. Deleted. That fantasy. Dead and gone. A few men drifted through her life after that. None stayed. None could. Because trust, once shattered, cuts like glass. And she walked barefoot through every shard. Some nights she'd sit alone, scrolling through old wedding photos, crying in the dark, whispering to no one. Why did I ruin everything for a fling? No answer ever came. And that's the story. Let me know in the comments. Who do you think messed up the most here? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real-life twists. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Catch you next time on Breakup Cheater Story.